In London, CIA agent Bill Pope picks up a duffel bag from a shop and rings his wife, Jilly. She's wondering when he'll be home, but Bill notices someone tailing him. He hops on a bus, gets off quickly to lose them, and then swipes a motorbike. Back at the CIA's London HQ, Quaker Wells, head of operations, scrambles when his team loses track of Bill, only to spot him again, minus the bag. Another tail appears, so Bill ducks into a cab after slipping out a train station. The people following pass the cab's number to their boss, anarchist Xavier Heimdall, who begins tracking it. Bill borrows the driver's phone, calls the CIA, and gets an extraction point at a dock. But Xavier hacks the GPS, rerouting them. By the time Bill catches on, Xavier's men are right there, killing the cabbie, shooting out the tires. Bill fires back, but runs out of ammo cornered. The CIA's extraction team waits at the docks, but Bill never shows. Instead, he's caught and tortured by Xavier, who demands to know where the Dutchman is. Bill refuses, so Xavier shoves an electric prong into his mouth. The CIA finds him too late. Bill's dead. Soon after, Dr. Micah Franks is approached by the CIA. They want his expertise in transferring memories from dead brains into living ones, urgently. He already has a subject in mind, Jericho Stewart, a violent convict in West Virginia who can't feel emotions or distinguish right from wrong thanks to a frontal lobe injury. Agents find Jericho chained up by the neck. He won't go without eating first and mouths off until they tranquilize him. He's flown to meet Franks, who sedates him again when he hears surgery. Jericho explains his head injury came from being thrown through a car window by the man he thought was his dad. Franks says he'll take care of him. Meanwhile, Xavier, revealed as the CEO of Stone Harp Industries and wanted for treason in Spain, goes on TV calling for a global revolution against corrupt governments. The CIA also identifies Elsa Mueller, ex-German Special Forces, as part of Xavier's crew. Jericho is taken to a secret CIA facility where Bill Pope's body is being kept alive so his neural map can be copied into Jericho's brain. During the risky procedure, Jericho almost dies, but Wells orders them to continue. He doesn't care if Jericho survives. Eventually, Jericho stabilizes. When he wakes up strapped to a bed, Franks wants to give him time, but Wells starts drilling him for Pope's memories, especially the location of Jan the Dutchman Strew, a hacker who built a wormhole program capable of breaking any code. Pope had wanted to work with him, not kill him, and hit him before dying. Jericho gets flashes but denies knowing anything. Wells, frustrated, calls the experiment a bust and orders Jericho dumped. The Dutchman, tired of hiding, uses a laundromat phone to call Jilly, only to learn Pope is dead. Meanwhile, Frank secretly gives Jericho a pill for the headaches and a warning look. In transit with two agents, Jericho grows suspicious when one fiddles with a device. He rips trim from the door and stabs the driver in the neck, causing a crash. One agent dies instantly. Jericho frees himself, drags the other driver to safety, and torches the CIA van as a distraction. He wanders into a burger joint, swipes food and a drink, then mugs a group of guys for their van after beating them senseless. On the road, music blaring, he's hit with a massive memory surge from Pope. He heads straight for Pope's home, bypassing security with Pope's code, gags Jilly in her bedroom, and visits Pope's daughter Emma, but decides to leave her untouched. In the mirror, he sees Pope's face instead of his own. Jericho demands a big bag of cash from Jilly's house, but she has no clue. While he's busy stealing valuables, she triggers the silent alarm. The CIA calls asking for a code. Jericho gives the correct one, even recognizing the agent's voice. Jilly frees herself, locks herself and Emma in a room, and Jericho simply leaves. Elsewhere, Xavier rages at the Dutchman for betrayal. The hacker refuses to work with him, offering the wormhole to someone responsible instead. He reaches out to Russia's SVR, planning a live demo within hours. Jilly reports Jericho's break-in to the police, which alerts Wells, proving the experiment worked. Jericho pawns the stolen goods, buys coffee, and punches a guy outside the shop. More Pope memories slam into him, sending him to a library where he thinks the cash is hidden, but the stash is gone. The CIA spots him logging into their system with Pope's ID and realizes he's looking for Franks. Wells warns the doctor, but Jericho finds him first, demanding more pills. They go to a pharmacy, unaware Xavier is watching via hack cameras. Inside, Jericho admits that Pope's memories are making him feel emotions, something totally alien to him. Franks explains that it's his brain adapting, But Jericho wants the feelings gone. Franks insists they run more tests quickly, because in 48 hours the memories might fade away completely. Jericho hears about the stash of cash and decides he's going to find it and blow it all. What he doesn't know is that the CIA is eavesdropping through Frank's phone. The second he steps out of the pharmacy, agents swarm him, slap on cuffs, and shove him into a car. Watching from a distance, Elsa starts tailing them. On the way to HQ, Wells grills Franks about Jericho's headspace. Franks says Pope's memories are shaping Jericho's behavior, and if they dangle what he wants, they might get to the Dutchman. But Wells is already ticked. He's just heard about the Dutchman's looming cyber attack and blames Franks for picking a lunatic as his guinea pig. 3 hours before the deadline, Wells sits Jericho down. He promises him the cash if he delivers the Dutchman. Jericho plays along, shakes his hand, then yanks him close, warning he'd better stick to the deal. Using Pope's memories as a guide, Jericho takes the CIA toward their target. Meanwhile, Xavier plants a fake red notice and has airport security spot the Dutchman. Wells calls off his deal and redirects to the airport, leaving Jericho to be hauled back to his safe house. At the airport, Wells finds out they've grabbed the wrong guy. Separated from his handlers, Jericho's car is stopped when Xavier hacks a nearby bridge and tips Elsa off. A hit team ambushes the car, killing one agent. Jericho snatches a gun, fires back, and bolts, stealing another car and diving off the bridge into the water. He limps away with a busted leg. Wells, furious, shifts focus to stopping the Russians from getting the wormhole. 1 hour before the deadline, Elsa reports to Xavier, empty-handed on both Jericho and the Dutchman. Jill and Emma arrive home. Jill senses something off, grabs a hidden pistol, and finds Jericho in the basement patching himself up. She demands to know how he knows their names. Jericho explains Pope's memories were put in his head and shows her the surgical scar. She doesn't buy it until he tells her things only Pope would know. He says the CIA's hunting someone from those memories and promises to leave them alone. Pope wouldn't let him hurt them. The deadline hits. The Dutchman hacks a U.S. Navy sub, launches a missile, then makes it self-destruct before it goes nuclear. In the garden, Emma talks to Jericho about her dad until Jill pulls her away. Emma likes him and invites him to dinner. Jill's hesitant, but Jericho offers to make waffles like Pope always did before disappearing. Later, Emma coaxes him into playing piano. Jill watches from the kitchen, then questions him privately. Jericho admits Pope's memories are making him feel emotions for the first time. She asks for proof, and he makes Pope's old hand sign for "I love you." Memories of their wedding hit him hard. He tells her Pope truly loved her. Jill offers him the couch for the night. The next morning, a coffee cup sparks Jericho's memory of Jill's university library job. He demands her car keys, promising she'll be safe. Minutes later, Elsa storms in and holds Jill at gunpoint, demanding Jericho's location. Jericho reaches the library, digs through the rare book section, and finds the cash stashed behind some books, only to run into Xavier, who he recognizes from Pope's mind. Elsa shocks him unconscious. Wells hears a Russian FSB team is in town, likely after the Dutchman, and plans to tail them. Jericho wakes to find Jill and Emma as Xavier's hostages. Xavier wants the Dutchman. Jericho points the way. Wells shadows the FSB in a truck to Jill's workplace. CIA teams take positions, but when they see Xavier and Jericho, Wells orders an attack on the Russians and to grab Jericho. Chaos breaks out. Xavier threatens Jill and Emma. Jericho swears the CIA doesn't have the Dutchman. Xavier sends Elsa to fetch him while he slips away. Elsa follows Jericho into a lab. He hurls chemicals, causing a huge blast, and escapes. He finds the Dutchman hiding in Jill's office, gives him the cash, and orders him to set up the wormhole. Elsa bursts back in, shoots Jericho, and kills the Dutchman before grabbing the wormhole. But Jericho recovers, smashes a plant pot over her head, and finishes her off. Taking the wormhole, he steals an ambulance. Wells arrives to find Elsa and the Dutchman dead, and realizes Jericho has the program. Jericho calls Xavier from Elsa's phone, saying she's dead and he wants a deal. Xavier threatens Jill and Emma if Jericho doesn't hand it over. Overhead, Wells warns him to stop, saying Franks could make the implant permanent, but Jericho's memories of Jill and Emma are already fading. He refuses to abandon them. Police cars swarm in pursuit of the ambulance, but Jericho triggers a massive pileup to clear the road. Near Xavier's hideout, he grabs a hatchet, rams one of Xavier's vehicles, and kills a guard. He storms the van holding Jill, killing 2 more men before facing Xavier, who's got Emma at gunpoint. Jericho tosses him a flash drive so Emma can run. Xavier shoots him several times and boards his jet just as Wells arrives in a helicopter. In the air, Xavier uses the wormhole to launch a missile toward the runway. Wells berates a bleeding Jericho, thinking they're all dead, but Jericho reveals he had the Dutchman reprogram it. The missile loops around and obliterates Xavier's plane. As Jericho fades, Pope's memories vanish. Weeks later, Jericho survives but remembers nothing. Wells and Franks bring Jill and Emma, hoping to spark something. Emma hugs him, and Jericho makes Pope's old "I love you" sign. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps the content coming. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss an upload. See you in the next one.